Hey everybody, Sentinel here, and welcome back to another Apex video. So today we're going to be talking about and showcasing each individual recoil pattern for every weapon in Apex Legends. Obviously, if you guys didn't already know, Apex has a lot of shooting involved. So learning how to master the recoil in Apex is going to be so beneficial to your gameplay. And of course, I'm here to help all of you guys. Before we continue with the video, please make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Apex Legends content. But anyway, enough talking, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the RE45, and I'm going to talk about the layout of this entire video. I'll put timestamps of each individual gun in the description below in case you don't want to see the entire video. You just wanted to really see your favorite guns, the guns that you pick up the most. But again, starting with the RE45, it has a pretty simple recoil pattern. I'll show you guys that real quick right now. You can see that it travels upward and to the right. So what you're going to want to do on your mouse or on your right thumbstick, you want to hold that downward and to the left. You want to combat the recoil by going in the opposite direction of which the bullets are going. So it goes upward to the right. If you hold downward to the left, you should be able to hit your shots. I'm going to do that one more time. I missed a few more bullets there. Let me do one more time for you guys. There you go. What you want to do to practice the recoil, you want to make sure that you one clip the enemy. That way, once you get the familiarization to the recoil for all the weapons and you can kill the enemy in one clip, that's how you know you're good to go. Next off with the P2020, because it got a reduced fire rate, the recoil is not as severe, but I believe it goes upward and to the left slightly. So I'll showcase that right now. Ever so slightly upward to the left. So what you're going to want to do is just pull the mouse or your thumbstick downward and to the right. Any weapon that has a slower fire rate is going to be way easier to control than a fully automatic weapon. So you can see just how easy it is to hit your shots with the P2020. Next we have the Alternator. The Alternator is also pretty easy to control, especially in the closer ranges, but I'll show you guys the recoil pattern right now. So for the most part, it goes straight up for a while, then it drifts slightly to the right and then slightly to the left towards that last few bullets. So what you're going to want to do there is hold your thumbstick down, downward to the left, and then downward to the right. It's a pretty easy gun to control. It is an SMG, so you're really going to usually use this for close range combat, but I'll show you guys right now. Simple. It's super easy to kill and to control with the Alternator. Super easy, and it kills pretty fast. It's as good as that. Now here we have the R99. The R99, in my opinion, is one of the hardest recoils to master in Apex, especially because towards the last few bullets, it really likes to go left to right to left to right. It starts off straight, and then you'll see what happens. I'll start right now. You can see towards those last few bullets that it really wants to go right, left, right, and I believe left again. One more time. Yeah, it's up, right, left, right, left, right. So what you're going to do, because don't be a wimp about it. This one's hard to control. Really hold your thumbstick or your mouse downward to keep these bullets straight. Then once it starts doing that curve, hold it to the left, hold it to the right, hold it to the left, and hold it to the right again, I believe. There's a lot of lefts and rights, so I'm sorry if I'm confusing you guys. But once you master that, even me, I still have difficulty trying to master in the R99 recoil. Ooh, ever so slightly, but once you get to 200, that's when you know you're going to be good. Let me do it one more time for you guys. There you go. It's a hard gun to master, but it's a heck of a laser. Moving on to the G7 Scout, because it is not an automatic weapon, the recoil is naturally going to be much easier to control. I believe at the max fire rate for the G7, it goes upward and to the left. I'll showcase that for you guys right now. It kind of stays stagnant from what I'm seeing. It goes up a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and a little bit to the left again. But for the most part, I think what you want to do is just hold your thumbstick, hold your mouse down. It's really easy to control, and then once you get into longer ranges, I think it's still not going to be too difficult. Still really easy to aim. Nothing too crazy about this one. Now we have the R301. This is one of my favorite guns to use in this game because it's very reliable. The recoil is really easy to master, and it's a heck of a laser. So the recoil isn't too difficult to see. I'll show you guys right now. So it goes off up and slightly to the right, then it makes a sharp left and then a slightly sharp right. So what you're going to do to combat that is hold your stick or your mouse slightly downward to the left, then to the right side, then back to the left side. And believe me, it's not as hard as it looks. It looks like it's pretty sharp, but once you get it, you'll be good to go. See how steady the bullets are? It's not that hard to master the recoil for the R301. It's a very reliable weapon. I'll do it one more time. Definitely one of the better weapons in the game. Moving on now to the heavy weapons. We're going to start with the 30-30 repeater. It's going to be the same concept as the G7 because it even shoots slower than the G7. The recoil is also going to be pretty easy to combat against. I'll show you guys the pattern at max fire rate. It goes upward for the first few bullets and then it decides to drift slightly to the left. So once it starts doing that slight drift, just make sure to hold your mouse or your thumbstick downward to the right. Let's do that right now. Even at this range, you don't have to compensate for it too much. I'm going to let go of my thumbstick. I didn't hold my thumbstick there at all, and you see how easy the gun is to aim. That's pretty much actually all semi-automatic weapons. Now with the Wingman, same concept. It's a semi-automatic weapon. I believe it goes upwards to the right. Let's see real quick. Ever so slightly upward and to the right. So what you're going to do to combat that is go downward and to the left. But it is a semi-automatic weapon. The Wingman is hard to use, but once you master the gun, it's a small cannon. Super easy gun to use. On to the next one. Alright, on to the lovely Spitfire. I'm pretty sure you guys know this. A lot of people don't like this gun, but there's a lot of people that love this gun. It's pretty controversial right now. But I'm going to have to show the recoil pattern for you guys. So I'll show you the case stat right now. You can see that it starts initially going up and to the left, then to the right, then slightly to the left again. And I believe one more time to the right. Let me see just really fast. Yeah, the last few bullets are to the right side. But the thing about the Spitfire, as much as it drifts to the left and to the right, it's actually really easy to control. So as I said, you want to hold your thumbstick downward. Once it starts drifting to the left, hold it down to the right. Once it starts drifting to the right, hold it downward to the left. And you'll get the gist of it once you see which direction it's going to go. The thing about the Spitfire is that it's really easy to control. Regardless of all that left and right, it's super smooth. This is one of the few guns, next to maybe the R301, that I put the least amount of effort into the recoil. Now, if you want to use this gun, go ahead and use it. I use it. I don't really care about the controversy, but it's a pretty good gun, honestly. Next, we're moving on to the Hemlok. Hemlok is a 3-round burst weapon, and the recoil, I'll show you guys right now. At the max fire rate, it goes up and to the left and then makes a sharp right. So what you're going to want to do if you shoot at the max fire rate, because it is kind of a semi-automatic weapon, it's not fully automatic, it's 3-round burst. You're going to want to hold it downward to the right and then downward to the left towards those last few bullets. But because it is kind of semi-automatic, it is easy to keep straight. Once you shoot one burst, it'll reset back into the position where you first aimed. So it's really easy. If you pace your shots, you're not going to miss it too much. It's just a matter of making sure if the target is moving to trace their movements so you hit all 3 bullets. Simple as that. Now we're moving on to the Flatline, which, believe me, this gun packs a punch, but the recoil, I believe, is pretty difficult to master. Not only do you have to compensate for the up and down, this gun really drifts to the left and to the right. I'll show you guys the pattern right now. See, it immediately kicks upward to the left, then to the right, and it goes upward to the left again, and it continues to go upward and left. So what you're going to want to do is the initial first bullets, make sure you hold your stick or your mouse downward to the right. When it starts kicking to the right, downward to the left. And then once it starts going up and to the left again, make sure you hold it downward and right. This is a really good gun. Once you master it, it's a cannon. Look how fast it is to kill. That's with no headshots. See if I can try to hit some headshots. It's a little hard, obviously, to just hit all headshots like that. But once you learn how to properly master the recoil on this weapon, it's just a laser of a gun. Now that we got the heavy weapons out of the way, we're going to go with the sniper weapons. But let me tell you guys, snipers I'm not going to get too much into because they are semi-automatic weapons and they shoot really slow. So I'm going to start with the Sentinel. I'm going to show you guys just how the recoil really works. Doesn't really have any recoil. Once you shoot that one bullet, it'll reset after the reload and then go back into the initial place as to where you aimed. And then you reload and it's the same thing. So it's just the crosshair resets wherever it is that you last hit the target. Same thing with the charge rifle. Nothing too crazy. It's just going to be a straight line. You don't have to worry about recoil at all with this gun. Even with the longbow has a faster fire rate. Let me kill this guy really fast. The longbow has a faster fire rate, but it has still little to no recoil. It just resets back into the spot as to where you first aim. So snipers is a pretty fast segment. You don't really have to worry about any recoil patterns. Alright, now we're moving on to the energy weapons, starting with the Vault. I'm going to show you guys the recoil pattern really fast. One more time, because that looked a little weird. So with that, the Vault is pretty decent, easy to control. It shoots ever so slightly downward and to the right, but I think you're good enough just to hold your mouse or your thumbstick down. Then it starts to shoot left and into the right pretty sharply. So what you're going to do against that is hold your thumbstick downward to the right for the left side and downward to the left for the right kick. Let's show you real quick. Let's showcase this. Pretty easy control, especially I love the crosshair that it naturally has. It has a beautiful ADS. It's a laser. I love the Vault. Super easy to control. Once you get it, you're just going to be kicking butt with this thing. Alright, now we're going on to the Devotion. The Devotion, I believe, again, may be the hardest gun to control because it shoots so fast and it really goes left and right. I'll show you guys right now. And look how long that startup is. I might not even be able to hit all my shots. We'll see. But the thing is, the damage is so high that I probably won't even waste all of my bullets. Look at that. I still have 17 bullets left to go. What you're going to want to do to combat that, because it has that strong startup time, you're really going to feel the kick. Hold the thumbstick down. Hold it hard. Then once it starts kicking to the left, really keep your thumbstick down and to the right. When it starts going upward to the right, really keep it downward and to the left. This gun has a huge kick. Let's try to do it with the turbocharger. See if it really makes any difference. It makes it a little bit easier because it shoots faster, but it caught me off guard because I was expecting to compensate for the recoil earlier because I was used to it not having a turbocharger. So this one's hard to master, but it does a lot of damage, as you guys can see. Now for the Havoc, let's show you the recoil. That didn't look too bad. It started off going straight. It has a charge up like the Devotion. It goes up straight, then it goes to the left, makes like an S pattern to the right, and it goes up to the left, and it continues to go straight up. Let me see one more time. Yeah, up, right, left, and up. This gun is not too hard to control. I love using this gun, and the hip fire is actually pretty good. It's just the only thing is that charge up time. And it hits like a truck. Now let's show with the turbocharger. Let me reload, please, before I continue. With the turbocharger, you see how it kicked to the right? I just saw that. Watch the kick. That initial kick to the right. Watch out for that. To combat that, make sure you hold your thumbstick downward and to the left. There you go. Pretty simple. Now with the L-Star is pretty easy to control. I'll show you guys right now. Now that is going to be pretty easy to combat. It starts off with a pretty sharp left kick, and then it goes straight up. It censors itself, and it goes straight up. What you want to do to combat that, hold your thumbstick and hold it hard, downward and to the right. Then once it starts censoring itself, just hold your thumbstick straight down. You're going to be hitting your shots. This gun also packs a punch. Might be one of my favorites. Again, especially in arena, definitely my favorite gun. And then the hip fire is still beautiful too. One more time. Heck of a gun. Beautiful recoil control. A lot of damage. This was pretty easy. Moving on to shotguns. It's going to be pretty much the same as the snipers, you don't really have to compensate for any recoil too much because they are slower firing weapons. We're going to start with the Mozambique. Let's show you the recoil. With a purple bolt, all it does really, I can't even see my bullets, it goes upward. I had to really get close because I couldn't see those tiny bullets. It just goes upward. I don't even think it goes left or to the right. So what you're going to want to do if you're shooting at the max fire rate, just hold it ever so slightly down. You're going to hit your shots. It's a Mozambique. Same thing with the Peacekeeper. It's the slowest firing shotgun. So what you're going to want to do, it's just going to reset. It's going to reset back into the same place, just like the snipers, as where you last shot them. Moving on to the Mastiff, it's going to be the same instance as all the other shotguns. It's going to have barely any recoil. Let's show you. I believe it goes ever so slightly upward and to the left, but again, you're not going to shoot a Mastiff like that. With the shotguns, you really want to place your shots. You want to be patient with shotguns. So with the Mastiff, I want to get a little closer because it is a shotgun. Just place your shots. Be patient with it. That's all you have to do with shotguns. Now we're going to go to the Ava. The Ava might have the most recoil of all the shotguns because it is an automatic shotgun. I'll showcase the fire rate for you guys. I believe it goes upward and to the right, but with the Ava, I don't personally like to do the automatic shots. I like to place my shots with the Ava. So with that being said, it just goes ever so slightly upward. But again, with a shotgun, you want to place your shots. That's what you want to do. You don't really flick shot on controller. It's not the best idea, but shotguns are pretty simple. Now moving on to the bow, which is our final weapon, it has no recoil, just like a sniper. At the max fire rate, it's going to reset back at the same spot as to where you shot them. Even with a dead eyes tempo, it's going to do the exact same thing. Where's my dead eyes tempo? Here we go. Let me kill him, and then let me do it one more time. It's using the same spot. Any slow fire rate is going to be really easy to control, just like I said earlier in the video. But there you guys have it. That is each and every individual recoil pattern in Apex Legends. If you guys would like a more in-depth guide on how to control your recoil while you're moving, while you're doing other things, while you're in actual firefights, please let me know down in the comments below. Guys, practicing your recoil, especially getting into it as a beginner, this is the easiest way to start off. But once you feel comfortable enough in the firing range, head into arenas. That's going to really give you the chance to practice with your favorite weapons, practice the recoil in real-time fights. I love using arenas to warm up. I also made a video on how to get better aim and accuracy, and arenas is a part of that. But with all that being said, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.